again, folks. Another segment of Dr. G Strings instructional video here. Trying to get you folks interested and maybe motivate you into going out and buying a guitar at a flea market. We've already gone over some of the basics. Now we're going to show you firsthand what really is the difference between a primary guitar and a junior guitar. A primary guitar, as we have said in the past, has a flat fretboard. Here is my personal mandolin that came apart on me because it's very poorly made, and it's the only thing that holds this neck on, if you can see it, is two little dowels, and there are the holes, and it fits on thusly. That's the only thing that holds the neck on. And as I was playing it one night, the mandolin started to detune. So I cut the 8 or 9 of the little frets off of it that are on an F5, and we'll go through this later. Put a few pieces of pearl in it. I took out all the frets, and now I'm going to put new frets in it. This is a relatively easy job, but I just want to show you that this is a flat fretboard. Most mandolins have a flat fretboard. If you lay a straight edge down on there, you'll see that that is perfectly flat. The fretboard is flat, as we indicated on our little instruction sheet. On a guitar, on the guitars that are $5 to $50, you will see that the flat fretboard is flat. If you look at the neck on the guitar, you'll see there's no rocking to the straight edge at all. That fretboard is perfectly flat, as opposed to the $50,000 to $50,000 instrument. The fretboard is arched. Do you see the distance it arches? It's an arched fretboard. Most of them are between a 19 and a 23 inch circumference is what causes that arch. This is an indication that the instrument costs more. Obviously, it costs more to put an arched fretboard on a guitar than it does a flat fretboard. And the reason why you should work up to an arched fretboard is because the natural conformation of your hand is arched in a convex position. So when you put your fingers, your little finger will be closer to the fretboard and your first finger will be close to the fretboard because it's arched. If it's flat, it's a little more difficult to apply the pressure to get a string note that's clear. Now, the exception to that rule is classical guitars have all flat fretboards because they are picked. The strings are wider apart and they're picked in a plectrum style, and we'll get into that a little further down the line. Basically, this is an old neck that we're going to resurrect here. It's a Ibanez bass guitar neck that somebody broke, and as you can see, it's pretty damaged. Somebody dropped it and broke it, and that's where I made the majority of my money that I made in the business, is because people make the mistake of doing what you see this guitar right here, leaning it against something while it's strung up. There's 265 some odd pounds on each pressure of string tension on each string, So times that by 6 and you've got a little bit over half a ton of pressure on that guitar neck. When you drop it and it falls off like this and hits the floor, the first thing that happens is the neck wants to fly up because the strings are attached at the bridge and they're attached here on the machines, and it wants to pull that neck that way, and when it does, this is the result. It breaks. And I've fixed hundreds of guitars with broken necks. We already have part of a video on with a guitar that was a 12-string that had extremely high action, and the action is classified as the distance from the string to the fretboard. If you take a string and place it on your 23rd or 24th fret or 21st fret and place your finger on this fret, you can use the string as a straight edge. You'll see if your neck is bowed, and you'll see whether or not the action is high. Most guitar players like easy playing action so their fingers don't hurt. And I want to tell all you mommies and daddies out there that I am a promoter of guitar. I always have been. I love the guitar. And I want you to know that your children don't have to complain to you that, Mommy, my fingers hurt and I don't want to play the guitar. I can repair a guitar and set it up to where you could almost breathe on the strings and have it note and fret. When you have a guitar that's easy to play, I guarantee you your child will want to pick it up more and play it more. As you get older and get into a better guitar, obviously if it's got fancy pearl work on it and it sounds great and it has all the fancy binding and some pearl work on it, even professional musicians have a favorite guitar that they want to play. So this is Dr. G-String saying, go play with your G-string.